Yeah, I'm Henry Nutt III. I work for Southland Industries as a pre-con executive, and I am here tonight always to learn and to observe what others are doing and extract some good stuff and takeaways so I can implement them within our own teams. Yeah, a lot of great discussions about safety and how lean ties into that, and I think what was mostly emphasized and what I take away from tonight is the importance of dialing in our leadership, and not just the folks in the office, but really how we look at our field and really putting the responsibilities on them, and not just saying, hey, this is yours, but it's really recognizing that it's not so much that we need to be taught. When I say we, I came from the field. And it's that we need to understand that we have a responsibility in this just as much as someone that has an executive title. And we're the ones closest to the work. We're the ones who are experiencing the day-to-days of issues that are happening, and many times have a lot of solutions, and we might not be able to speak up or think that we can or should. And so today was this conversation. I felt like a lot of going back and forth in regards to field personnel really taking responsibility and understanding their place in the whole chain. Yeah, I mean, it makes complete sense. It's something that for me has been missing. When I was coming up in the trades, it was something that inherently I knew, but it wasn't practiced most of the time. And so to see it now in full action, and people aren't afraid to have conversations about safety, about psychological safety and what it looks like, what it doesn't look like. We're having discussions that are so important these days, and I'm so happy to hear people have the courage to talk about it, and we understand the value and how it's going to help keep our people safe out in the field. Yeah, one of the things I'll say I wanted to add is I think about training. And Southland is big on training its people. We want to develop our people. We want to make sure that every person, as was mentioned tonight, Sean mentioned that he feels like he's responsible for everything, and that he's not going to become a victim of something that happened and say, well, why did it happen? But he'll say, what could I have done to make to provide that situation with a better outcome? He takes that ownership, and it's so important. And so training is so important. As I mentioned earlier today, that's not something that we necessarily learned in our apprenticeship classes. We learn our specific trades, the people skills and people leadership roles. Those things weren't part of our DNA. And so it takes a little time for us to get there. But again, having conversations like we did tonight are what we need to continue doing, where we create this environment where people are engaging and collaborating and having these conversations to help us learn and get better.